Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council for Monday, May 19th, 2025 to order. And ask that you all please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk Tamer, call the roll, please.
Barimus. Here. Bellinger.
Here.
Shenko. Here. Hill.
Here.
Graham.
Here.
Jensen.
Here.
Toludo. Here. Baker.
Here.
Nudera.
Here.
Virgil.
Here.
Nardini.
Here.
Vestito.
Here.
Irby.
Here.
Brennan.
Here.
14 present, 0 absent.
14 present, 0 absent. We have a quorum. We'll move on to item 2, receipt of written communications from the public. Does anyone have a written communication that he or she would like to deliver to the council? If so, please raise your hand. Seeing none, we'll move on to public forum. Clerk Tamer, has anyone signed in for public forum this evening?
Yes, Mayor. We have Ryan Littner.
All right, Mr. Littner, if you'll move to the microphone in the rear there, state your name, address is optional, and you'll have 3 minutes to speak about whatever topic you like.
Sure. Thank you for having me. And my name is Ryan Leitner. I live at 550 South Edgewood Avenue in Elmhurst. I've been regularly coming to committee meetings and coming here to City Council in regards to short-term rentals. And had a few questions tonight regarding short-term rentals, as I know that's on the docket for passing the new ordinance tonight. And firstly, I'd like to congratulate and thank everybody for their work and due diligence in regards to putting together the report. I know, and the ordinance. I know a lot of work went into it. A couple of questions in regards to it. One is what the process is for the business application portion of it. For instance, would someone with a short-term rental property who wanted to get a business license have to come in with a copy of their listing to make sure that it falls under the ordinance? Insurance coverage, making sure that they have the insurance coverage needed for the ordinance, an inspection of the property to meet safety guidelines and codes and dictate the occupancy of that property specifically. And then the other question is, like, if I'm the one necessarily, like I have the Airbnb next to me or VRBO property, and if I need to be the watchdog to make sure that, you know, do I have to call in to, and who do I call, for instance, to let somebody know that there is a short-term rental property next to me? And besides a neighbor calling in a property they suspect or know is a short-term rental, for its use, how will the property owners know about the ordinance if I wasn't there to call in, for instance? How would people know? And then what happens once a property has been notified, and or how long do they have to apply for a said license once notified before any kind of fines or anything ensues, like if they don't go in and get a license at all? And then how many fines or time period unpaid fines would result in either a chronic nuisance violation or some kind of violation there, and so somebody isn't just racking up fines and not paying them? And do those unpaid fines at some point result in a condemnation of the property? And those are just a couple of the questions I had. So thank you for your time and consideration of my questions.
Thank you, Mr. Leitner. As you may or may not know, we don't respond directly during public forum, but someone will get back to you. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
Clerk Tamer.
Emily Quinn.
Good evening. My name is Emily Quinn. I own a cosmetic tattoo shop in the C2 zone where I specialize in nanobrows. I'm here tonight not just as a business owner, but as someone deeply rooted in Elmhurst. I'm looking to expand my services to include areola restoration and scar camouflage tattooing. A little bit about my background. My family moved to Elmhurst in 1984 when I was 4 years old. My dad, Ed Jonas, was a civil engineer and wood turner. He coached our sports teams, filled sandbags during floods, and served on the board of local improvements. My mom, Jackie Jonas, was an artist, art therapist, and the best art mom our grade school had. She volunteered for Meals on Wheels and took us with her to help at soup kitchens. She and Kathy Kelly ran Art and Soul Studios for 22 years, a creative hub that supported countless local artists and children. Teaching there was one of my first jobs. Watching the positive impact they made on so many people still shapes who I try to be today. Our now very popular Art in the Park did not actually begin at Art in the Park. It began at their studios above the Chocolate Moon coffee shop. Growing up, my sport was hockey. I mostly played girls' leagues in the city, but after a night of pond hockey at Barron's Park, I was invited to try out for York. So in 1996, my junior year, I became the first girl to play for the JV team. I'm thrilled to hear there's finally going to be a girls' team. It's about time. My senior year, I helped create 2 public art pieces with my class and my teacher, John Nestor. Both still stand. I have a BFA from the School of the Art Institute and have worked as a mural artist alongside decorative painter Bill Fisher for over 20 years. I am part of the Elmhurst Artists Guild and just entered a piece in an upcoming show I'm really excited about. For 25 winters, I've played rat hockey with my dad and the same group of guys up at the Y every Sunday morning. It has grown to include my husband and now my son. 3 generations on the ice. It's one of my favorite things about living here. Now, to address the concern I've heard, the fear that by allowing me to offer restorative tattooing in C2, it could open the door to traditional tattoo shops. I get it because that's not what I want either. And that doesn't have to be the case. Elmhurst zoning lawyers confirmed a square footage cap can be placed on studios offering these services in C2. That's what I'm asking for. A cap smaller than 300 square feet would essentially make a larger shop impossible. There is virtually nothing available under that size in C2. My studio is private and by design, 1 chair only. I don't want or need a bigger space. My goal has always been complete privacy. I would never want someone to feel exposed when they are at their most vulnerable. To be clear, this isn't about wanting to bring in a tattoo parlor. It is about helping to restore someone's sense of self. I currently have 3 women waiting to see if I can work on them and a plastic surgeon ready to refer patients. But I have to say I can't. In order to avoid having to deal with my rights to artistic expression, there is the idea of only allowing my work all the way up in industrial. Ironically, doing that would open the door for the very types of shops some fear. It would not only isolate my business, it would be unsafe, both for me as a woman working alone and for my clients. By having a square footage limit in C2, you could keep things exclusive and intentional. Right now, I am surrounded by other women-owned businesses. We look out for each other all the time. That kind of community matters. Elmhurst already permits scalp micropigmentation and cosmetic tattooing downtown in C1. These procedures use the exact same tools used for areola and scar tattooing. It is the same exact method. So right now, you can help a man with his hairline in the heart of town, but north of North Avenue, I can't help.
You're about at 4 minutes. We have a 3-minute limit, so I'm going to ask you if you'll wrap up.
Okay, it's
Thank you.
really quick. Thank you so much. You can help a man with his hairline in the heart of town, but north of North Avenue, I can't help a woman recovering from cancer. The reason I've shared my history, including the fact that my childhood home was almost entirely made up of Builder Square, is to show how long I've been here. I'm not looking to degrade the town I grew up in and where I decided to raise my kids. I am a product of this town. I would like to use my education, my lifelong training, and my art to make a positive difference in people's lives. I would like to provide a space of healing like my mom and Kathy did. Just the other day, I chatted with a mom at school pickup whose mastectomy flowers peeked out from her tank top. They were beautiful. She wasn't
Ms. Quinn,
hiding.
I'm going to have to cut you off because you're at 5 minutes. So we have a 3-minute limit, so I've given you a little extra leeway.
Yeah,
If
my-
you want to, well, we don't really do that, but I would ask you to, if you want to send your written comments, I'd be happy to accept them. To the clerk, and we'll get them out to the council.
It's literally like one more paragraph, I promise.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. I'm a product of this town. I would like to use my education, my lifelong training, and my art to make a positive difference in people's lives. I would like to provide a space of healing like my mom and Kathy did. I'm sorry, I lost my spot. Just the other day, I chatted with a mom at school pickup whose mastectomy flowers peeked out of her tank top. They were beautiful. She wasn't hiding. She was reclaiming. That's what this work can be, a way for people to reclaim their bodies, stories, and dignity. This is about healing, about art as service, about offering something meaningful. I'm not here to change Elmhurst. I'm here to keep serving it just like my family has for 40 years. I know what I have to offer is worthy and useful. It could also be unique, like feeling trains go by when playing hockey outside with your family, uniquely in Elmhurst. Please don't make me leave this community in order to offer these services.
Ms. Quinn, I'm gonna cut you off here because you're over 6 minutes and we
Okay.
have other speakers, but I encourage you to send in your comments.
Thank you so much. I just want to say I hope we can find a way to work together on this. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Thank
to
you very
wrap it up.
much.
Thank you.
Ed Voanis, I'm sorry if I'm saying the name wrong. Ed Voanis.
It was me. She said it all.
All right, thank you, sir.
Bobby Quinn.
Good evening. My name is Bobby Geezer Quinn, and I'm here tonight in support of my wife, Emily. I'd like to tell you a little about myself because I want you to know how much we as a family are committed to making Elmhurst a wonderful place to live. My parents, Bill and Monica Geezer, moved to Elmhurst in 1979, the year I was born. They picked Elmhurst because my father's family has roots here. My father's great-grandmother, Charlotte Gloss, came over from Germany with her first cousin, Henry Gloss, looking for farmland. They settled in this area, and Henry was Elmhurst's first mayor. My great-great-grandmother, Charlotte, married Nicholas Essig and was one of the founding families of IC Church, where my mother is still a very active volunteer and parishioner. Nicholas was a carpenter and builder who built some of the first homes in Elmhurst. I continue that tradition today. My company, J&B Carpentry, has remodeled and improved hundreds of homes in town over the past 20 years. I grew up on Walnut, just north of North Avenue, and was taught at a very young age to give back to your community. My parents, along with my 5 siblings, volunteered at Mary Queen of Heaven and St. Charles Borromeo. I have been a volunteer youth hockey coach at the YMCA and the Chiefs hockey program for the past 10 years. I attended Emerson Elementary, Churchville Junior High, York High School, where I eventually met my wife, Emily. We were walking through York just last week after viewing my niece's work in York's student art show and walked right past the ceramic tile art installation that we both have pieces in from the class we met. Emily has always lived and breathed art. She's an excellent mural painter and oil painter. She has taken all the art classes one can take, and combined with her natural talent, she is exceptional. But it is hard to make a living as an artist. She has tried many different avenues with her art and has yet to find one that truly pays her for her time and talent. When she started tattooing eyebrows, she found a way to use her artistic skills in a very real and practical setting. Adding areola restoration and scar cover-up tattooing services would utilize her unique artistic talents even more. I understand everyone's concerns about tattoos, but please see that there are many sides to the tattoo debate. This is a practical art application that can benefit people, and Emily has a unique gift. She was raised here and developed her artistic talents here. She is a product of Elmhurst. Elmhurst has always supported the arts, and the results are here in her. Please consider her request so she can use her talents in this community. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Emma Fisher.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name is Emma Fisher. I grew up in Ward 6 by Jefferson Elementary School. I went to Jefferson, Sandburg, and York, and now I'm the operations director at a nonprofit organization. My parents are here. They still live in the house I grew up in. And the reason I wanted to speak tonight is to show an example of the restorative and cosmetic work that Emily just talked about. So hopefully I can make this a little interactive, but believe it or not, I actually have an example of Emily's work on my face. You would never guess because it's so well done, but it's actually my eyebrows, and in particular, my left eyebrow, which for as long as I can remember, I've had a terrible habit of picking out the hair on my eyebrows, especially on the left side while I'm writing or doing work with my right hand. I recently learned that this is actually a common symptom of anxiety disorders, including OCD, which I was also recently diagnosed with. So because of this, for many years, have been very self-conscious about my left eyebrow being less visible than my right one, being uneven. I used to cover it up with makeup, which worked pretty well until I jumped in a pool or got caught in a rainstorm. And then I would have to go run and hide somewhere till I could fix it again and no one would notice. But about a year and a half ago, Emily used the tattoo technique that she discussed called nano brows, which is a semi-permanent tattoo that will last about 5 years, to cover it up for me, and I couldn't be happier. Now I every day wake up, don't have to worry about what my face looks like, and most people are shocked when I tell them that I have something like this, because you would never be able to notice because Emily did such a good job. So that's just one small example of the work Emily can do, and I hope that you will allow her to bring this service to Elmhurst, especially to people dealing with more serious challenges like breast cancer, which I know she wants to specialize in. So to wrap up, the reason I know Emily and her family is because she's an artist who's worked with my dad, Bill Fisher, for many years doing art, murals, and decorative painting in homes all across Elmhurst and the surrounding areas. So I know firsthand that Emily is an incredible person, an artist, and an ambassador for the arts in Elmhurst, and I feel very lucky to know her. I know historically that tattoos may have had a stigma, but I really do think that's changing. I have another non-eyebrow tattoo as well myself, as do many of my close friends, and we all have successful careers and are active members of our communities. So I really see this as an opportunity for artists to earn a living while helping people express themselves and feel good about their bodies and their faces. And I hope this is a service that you will allow artists like Emily to provide in Elmhurst. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma Fisher.
Kim Keller.
Good evening. My name is Kim Keller. I've lived here for over 20 years. My kids were born here. I just had my oldest child graduate from York this past Sunday. So I am very vested in this community. I'm here to speak on behalf of Emily, much more on a personal level. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, went through a double mastectomy. I was lucky that I was able to have a nipple sparing procedure, but when I was diagnosed, I joined a support group with many women who were not so lucky. And once these women were done with radiation and chemo and reconstructive surgery and their hair grew out, they still look at their chests and they saw nothing but skin and scars. So I know people who've had the areolas done, tattooed. I'm very nervous, sorry. And it is life-altering for them. It is completely life-changing. It goes from looking at something that is a constant reminder of what you went through to seeing something that makes your life normal. You look normal for the first time. She's a phenomenal artist, and I think she would be an amazing member of the business community here, and I really urge you to consider. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all that's signed in, Mayor.
All right, that's the end of the list of those who signed in to make public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to make public comment but didn't have the opportunity to sign in? If so, please raise your hand. All right, thank you all for coming out to make public comment. We will close public comment at this time. We're going to move on to a presentation, York Performance in the Round State Champions. If you'll join me over next to the podium in the front here.
Yeah, I've been in a lot of emails with him this past week. Well, this, we'd like to honor the accomplishments of our teams at York. We have a lot of people that come to us as champions. It seems like so many over the past few years, and I'm proud that we have one more. So I'm going to start out with a proclamation. I'm going to introduce a couple of people who are going to talk a little bit further about why we're here tonight. So the proclamation reads as follows. Whereas participation in and support of extracurricular activities is an important part of York Community High School's education in developing leadership skills and the creation of a tradition of excellence, and whereas York Community High School brought a team of 9 students, led by directors Matt Bork and Rebecca Marionetti, to perform their performance in the round piece, Unless, at the Illinois High School Association Speech State Final. And whereas the dedication, group cohesiveness, and talent of the York Performance in the Round team prepared them to promote the program's motto of Be the Good to become the 2025 IHSA State Speech Performance in the Round champions. And whereas 9 students, and forgive me if I mess up here, Sophia Braithhart, Adian Espinoza, Moot Felton, Avra Glavinkas, Alexa Klein, John Polson, Liam Reese, Quinn Tolman, Eva Vitellero, collaborated to achieve a humorous and creative performance that emphasized the importance of familial bonds in difficult times. And whereas the performance in the round team's success is just one example of the many valuable organizations for Elmhurst youth that continue to be a source of pride for the city and represents the city in a fashion that is meaningful, healthy, and worthy of acknowledgement. Now, therefore, I, Scott M. Levin, Mayor of the City of Elmhurst, with great pride, congratulate the 2025 York Community High School Performance in the Round team of their tremendous achievements, and do hereby proclaim today, May 19th, 2025, as York Community High School Performance in the Round State Champions Day. I would like to invite, go ahead. Rebecca is going to be, where'd she go? All right, I'm going to ask for Rebecca Marionetti to come up and make a few comments about the team and your journey.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having us. We are just really excited to celebrate our cast and crew of Performance in the Round tonight. The Performance in the Round, I'm going to have my co-director, Matt Burke, tell you a little bit about how it works at the regional and state level. But we performed a piece based on the Lorax, which a lot of you probably know. And it was a really beautiful 15-minute piece that we felt great about creating. The students really were the main creators, the main directors in all of this. And the state title in the end in Peoria was just really the icing on the cake. It was an absolute pleasure to work with these students to produce this wonderful show. And Matt's going to tell you a little bit about how that all works.
Yes, thank you so much. Performance in the Round, if you're unfamiliar, is a 15-minute performance done at the Illinois High School competitive speech level. It takes place in a 15-foot circle where students can only use lighting or can only use props and sound. They have no access to sets, they have no access to costumes, or they have access to costumes, but it is really just created through storytelling. We do our best to work over a course of about a month. We compete at a regional level, then the sectional level, and eventually compete against 20 other high schools at the state level. We are so grateful to have programs like this that are supported in our school. We are so grateful to have parents and families that are supportive of our program as well, and we are so grateful for all of you. So thank you so much. Congrats, guys.
We always like to invite our champions to circle around, and each of our aldermen would like to congratulate you. Watch your step going up and coming down.
You know, Mr. Burke loves a black.
Thank you so much. Was that my job?
It's now your responsibility.
You're the child, right? Congratulations. You're the Lorax. Congratulations.
You're like the last.
You're the main dad.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Very impressive.
Nice work.
Impressive, thank you.
Congratulations.
Watch your step there. Congratulations.
I have two things to say. Congratulations.
Very impressive.
I'm hoping for a performance.
Very impressive.
Watch your step to the right. Congratulations. Watch your step there.
Good job. All right, congrats.
Congratulations. Watch your step right there. Perfect.
Need a ramp right there. Or a big smile. I don't know. Watch your step. Jennifer handed him out. We'll see.
And he is.
Sandy was planning. I can. What is that?
You can stay for the rest of the meeting if you like.
Yeah, I wasn't sure either, so I couldn't tell you. I heard the word Lorax.
All right, we'll move on to announcements. Are there any announcements from the dais? Alderman Varamis?
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to take a minute and, can you hear me? I know, my chair is too short.
Just pull the microphone down a little bit, I think. There you go.
If I can, I would like to just take a minute and tell you about our newly redesigned Plan in a Can that I put at everyone's seat and let you know about this really cool program. So Plan in a Can is a simple tool that serves as a personalized emergency medical kit. It allows individuals to compile vital health information and gather necessary items they may need during an unplanned trip to the hospital. In the event of a 911 call, minutes matter, and the most crucial information EMS needs includes details about your medical conditions, allergies, medications, emergency contacts, and any advanced directives. Given that first responders often may not readily have the patient's name available, our primary goal is to equip them with a rapid access to critical health details. We recommend placing the can on top of your refrigerator, as our first responders are trained to look in that location for this information. Beyond assisting our first responders, Plan in a Can also offers advantages for hospital staff: quick access to vital information, reduced treatment delays, enhanced patient safety, streamlined communication, and access to personal items such as medications, glasses, and hearing aids. I want to thank Chief Dufort, Deputy Chief Reynolds, and Lauren Wolf for their support and hard work in bringing this project to reality. I actually came across this when I was at my in-laws, who live in a 55 and older community in Georgia, and they were all talking about Plan in the Can, and I just thought it was such a great idea. And so I would like to thank the chief and team for working with me on this. I also sincerely appreciate Endeavor Health for the grant funding that enabled the safety initiative, providing peace of mind to our seniors and most vulnerable in the community. If you take a minute to look inside, you can see that there's plenty of room to add an extra pair of glasses or whatever information you need. It also has information you can fill out in there, and it has the instructions on here. So we have a lot of cans. So I would urge my fellow colleagues to actively share this information and these resources with seniors and others that you think could benefit from this in your respective wards. Please feel free to reach out to me or Lauren Wolf with any questions or to get some cans. Thank you.
Thank you, Alderman Varamis, for your contribution on that. I hope it's not a child-proof lid. Yeah.
Worked very hard to find an easy.
All right, very good.
Yes.
All right. Any other announcements?
Mayor.
Alderman Brennan.
Thank you. So would like to remind everybody this Wednesday, May 21st, Rite of Silence 2025, the Elmhurst Bicycle Club will be gathering outside the police station on First Avenue. The concept here, and anybody from the public are welcome, but the cycling club will take to the roads with whoever else wants to join them. I'm looking to join them. Hopefully the weather is good. The rain date is on the 24th of May, which is Saturday. But the concept here, they'll take the roads in a silent procession to honor cyclists who have been killed or injured while cycling on public roadways. So it's should be a nice memorial type of ride. And I've not been, but look forward to my first ride.
Alderman, did you give the time that it starts?
Oh, sorry, thank you. Gathering at 6:45 p.m. The ride will start at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Any other announcements? All right, we'll move on then to our consent agenda. Clerk Tamer, please read the consent agenda.
6.1 minutes of the regular meeting of the Elmhurst City Council on May 5th, 2025. 6.2 accounts payable May 19th, 2025, $3,771,591.72. 6.3 report case 25 ZBA 05, Yershak rear yard variation 765 South Cedar. 6.4 report updated capitalization policy. 6.5 report Adelaide parking deck mural project. 6.6 report digester 3 maintenance and cleaning amendment number 1. 6.7 ordinance granting a rear yard setback variation for the properly commonly known as 757 South Parkside Avenue, Elmhurst, Illinois. 6.8 an ordinance to amend Section 21.20 entitled Historic Preservation Commission of Article 2 entitled Administration of Chapter 21 entitled Historic Preservation of the Municipal Code of the City of Elmhurst. 6.9 an ordinance to add Section 31.21 entitled Short-Term Rentals to Article 1 entitled Administration of Chapter 31 entitled Business Licensing, Regulation, and Registration of the Elmhurst Municipal Code. And 6.10, an ordinance waiving bid and authorizing the execution of an independent contractor agreement between Broadcast Production Services, Inc. and the City of Elmhurst, Illinois.
Thank you, Clerk Tamer. Is there any item on the consent agenda that any alderman would like to remove, either for the purpose of voting against it or for additional discussion? Seeing none, Clerk Tamer, please call the roll. Oh, I'm sorry, motion to approve the consent agenda. Alderman Toledo, second Alderman Udera. Clerk Tamer, thank you.
Verimas?
Aye.
Bellinger?
Aye.
Schenko?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Graham?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Toledo?
Aye.
Baker?
Aye.
Nudera?
Aye.
Virgil?
Aye.
Nardini?
Aye.
Bastido? Irby?
Aye.
Brennan?
Aye.
14 ayes, 0 nays.
14 ayes, 0 nays. The consent agenda is approved. On to item 7, reports and recommendations of appointed and elected officials, Mayor Levin. I have 2 items. I want to invite everyone, especially the City Council, to come out on the 107th Memorial Day Parade, Monday, 9:30 a.m. step-off from City Hall, ending up at the Veterans Memorial with a fine service that will follow there. The open house for the Crestview, Indiana and Van Auken Street Sidewalks project is Tuesday, May 27th at the Pathway Community Church. That's at 586 North Michigan Street. It'll be between 4:30 and 6:30. That's May 27th. Staff and design engineers will be there to discuss details. And very fine production of the pet parade last week. I saw Alderman Verimas coordinating things. Thank you for another good piece of work there. City Manager.
Do you want to do the referrals?
Oh, we're going to do those?
We can do it after my report or before.
Yeah, I'm not even sure what it is. Oh, we have to vote on?
No, just at their
All right, well, why don't you do your report first then?
Thank you, Mayor. One item tonight. So our city staff has been working with DuPage County for a safety action plan countywide. So all municipalities have been working regarding pedestrian and bicycle facilities. And as part of that, DuPage County had asked if we would participate in a day of safety action planning and actually do an event. So on Thursday, It was scheduled for Wednesday, but because of the pending weather, sorry, Alderman Brennan, they have moved that to Thursday. And so the county and some volunteers will be at York and the Prairie Path demonstrating a safety project. So if you see a number of people in day glow vests, don't worry, there's nothing concerning. It's just a safety plan, and that is from 9:30 to 2:30. So if you happen to be in the area, if you're going for a walk or a bike ride that day, please stop by and say hello to county staff, engineers, and a little bit of our staff as well.
Thank you. The last item is, I just note that the referral report is, the status of all the referrals is posted, not for action, just as a matter of information. Are there any other reports from elected officials? Alderman Bram.
Thank you. Yes, in regards to the referral report, I was wondering, by looking at the referral report, and I tried to do my due diligence by doing a comparison of what is posted here tonight versus what was posted previously, namely last year, at the end of last year. Do we have anything that shows what referrals currently have not made the list from last year to this year, or earlier this year to what is currently posted in this agenda tonight?
Well, I'm not sure that we do, but as you're aware, this is a new council, so things that were on the, I'll call it the docket for a committee report as a referral last year would no longer be on it unless the chair of the committee carried it forward or unless it's reintroduced. But if you are interested, we can find out what is dropped off, but that's kind of why it wasn't on there.
All right, thank you. Yeah, I'm definitely interested. I mean, I'll do my due diligence to do a comparison. I guess just a friendly recommendation would be, you know, in subsequent years, maybe when we do a report like this, that it does identify what dropped off and maybe the rationale behind the reason why it dropped off. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Alderman Bram. Any other announcements? Seeing none. We will entertain, we'll go on to other business. Alderman Varamis?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to thank the police department, fire department, and public works for coming out on Saturday and all the work that they did for the pet parade. They were very popular because they brought ice cream for dogs, apparently. So it was a popular area. So thank you for all your hard work on doing that. And then I brought a lot of gift bags that are in the hallway. So if you have a dog, please help yourself to a swag bag from the pet parade.
That
Thanks.
ice cream was for the dogs? Oh. I also, I think we'd be remiss if we didn't thank our Public Works Department for the fine post-storm effort that was demonstrated after our last Thursday and Friday. I thought we're having the sins visited on us with dust and wind and rain, whatever, but thank you to Public Works for that. Any other business? All right, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn, please. Alderman Bram with a motion, Alderman Bellinger with a second. All in favor, say aye.
Oh, she's on the phone.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you still there, Alderman Bastido?
Aye.
All right, well, roll call.
Varimas?
Aye.
Bellinger?
Aye.
Schenko?
Aye.
Hill?
Aye.
Bram?
Aye.
Jensen?
Aye.
Toludo?
Aye.
Baker?
Aye.
Nudera?
Aye.
Who comes after you? I have Baker twice. Virgil?
Aye.
Nardini?
Aye.
Bastido?
Aye again.
It's 2 ayes.
Irby?
Aye.
Brennan?
Aye.
14 ayes, 0 nays, 0 absent.
14 ayes, 0 nays, 0 absent. We are adjourned. Thank you all.